Okay, right.
This is my interview at Pax Europiana about the NATO integration of Armenia. I'm here with the president of the European Party of Armenia, and I would like to ask you, Tigran, do you want to join NATO? And what's your expectations about President Trump? Will he be a friend of Armenia during his term now from 2025 onwards? Do you expect the Armenian diaspora in America to support NATO integration? And what's your expectations here for 2025 for the upcoming NATO invitation process?
Thank you for the question, Günther. As I said earlier, the EU choice for Armenia, it's a life choice. It's not just a choice of civilizational or values or economic preferences. Above all, it's security, because without security, all other values are very fragile and defenseless. Considering the neighborhood, let me say, troubled neighborhood and troubled history that we Armenians have as experience since Babylonian times. By the way, pay attention, it's not a big exaggeration. Armenia was on the most earliest clay map of the world since Babylonian times. We were fighting with Assyria, we were fighting with Babylon, it's according to the Bible, then to Persian Empire, to Arab Caliphate, to Seljuks, to Byzantium. We were allies with Roman Empire. So we're still here. And if you look at the world's history, even two world's wars were occurring around this circle, because both First and Second world wars had Baghdad and Baku oil as a background of these wars. So it's around this and the Gulf War of the United States and Kuwait War and war in Afghanistan. It's all around. Even now, the Syrian tragedy, Syria, one of the oldest nations, oldest countries in the world. Of course, not Arabian Syria, that was Assyrian Syria, but it was our neighbor for millennia. And it disappeared, like Iraq, which was former Babylon, right? However, it's all here. That's why being in NATO means for us being a part of the strongest military, economic, and political bloc that could secure our ancient country. We are the last survivors from these legendary biblical times. Even Israel has changed its population and place several times since that time. We're still here around Mountain Ararat. This is our mission. So my message to America in the Trump era is not simple. It's quite complicated, because Trump's message is quite complicated as well. All we can say now is that the basic of our relations are values. 100 years ago, another American president, the 28th President Woodrow Wilson, chosen Armenia to make America great. It might sound shocking, but it's so. It was his idea. He said, look, we don't have any territorial, economic, military interests in this remote country of Armenia, nothing but Christian solidarity. And he said, America is the greatest country of the world because it has a moral obligation. So Americans saved Armenians. 150,000 Armenian orphans were saved by American people, not by the government. Simple Americans fellow Americans were gathering 50 cents from $5 to $1. And they amounted huge money, which is equal today to $2 billion of the current money. And this money were spent to save Armenian orphans. That's how Armenians survived at all. So 100 years ago, it's the same Armenia which was saved by America. And right now, we are not asking for money. We're not asking for army, American army here. We're asking for the same solidarity. We're sending the message that we still here and we still share the same values, values of human rights, of Christianity, of democracy. As Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the former American Congress, said in 2022 in Yerevan during her visit, she said, there is a big war between democracy and dictatorship right now in the world. And the border of this war is from America to Taiwan, from Ukraine to Armenia. This is very true. We don't want war. We want peace. Everyone wants peace, but democracy just don't want peace. They need peace because there cannot be democracy during the war. Democracy is peace. Dictatorship cannot want peace because dictatorship is always about war. If not a war with neighbors, then it's a war within the country, with its own nation, like what's happening right now in Russia, in in North Korea, in Azerbaijan. We see the war of the government with its own people, with its own nation, with hundreds and thousands imprisoned, killed, with reporters ousted from the country or killed, etc., etc. That's why my message would have been easy, simple. We're here, we're guardians of the same values. And I don't want to sound as religious fanatic, but it's a crusade. It's a crusade. We are last crusaders. By the way, that's how Azerbaijani regime is portraying us and European monitors. Just a week ago, one of Azerbaijani Russian language resource, official resource, of course, there are no unofficial resources, made a picture of European mission in Armenia, portrayed them in the target of machine gun. And the reading was, you are here like crusaders, and we look at you through the target of our machine guns. You've been killed if you intervene. So we take it seriously. Yes, we know what we're fighting for. We know what our victims during the genocide were killing for. We know what we're defending right now. And it's not a big exaggeration, although it's not an era of religious wars, but it's era of wars of values. And in this war, Armenia and Armenians are the last crusaders. The last not in number, the last geographically, politically, on the southeastern border of European civilization. We are the guardians of Europe here.
And you hope that the Armenian diaspora in America will support the NATO membership of Armenia and Trump will listen to them?
I don't know if Trump will listen to them, but I don't doubt that all normal Armenians with common sense would understand that there is no other choice, no other way. And despite the very bad and long period of Russian and Soviet influence, including diaspora, because we know that diaspora was poisoned by Soviet influence in church, in political parties. Right now, it's a change of generation. It's a generation shift. And a new generation of diaspora, as well as new generation of Armenians in Armenia, they don't see Armenia out of European and American civilization, out of Euro-Atlantic civilization. As Catholic Church says it, nulla salvatia extra ecclesia. There is no salvation out of church. For Armenia, there is no salvation out of Europe.
And of NATO.
Of course, of NATO, because European Union cannot survive without NATO. It's a big part is a part of a NATO, of course of the NATO. And this is one of the main programs of European Party of Armenia that I have an honor to be a chairman. Membership in European Union and in NATO, to NATO. These are ultimate goal of European Party of Armenia.
So you want President Trump to invite you to Armenia to NATO?
Sooner or later, with Trump or without Trump, after Trump, I don't know when, but it will happen definitely. Right now, our next goal is 2030. Is 2030, and it's a date of official closure of EU enlargement. We have to be in EU, but in a while we should be ready to apply for NATO membership as well.
Perfect. Now we come to a close. I want to say thank you very much, President Tigran, aspiring pioneer of European Armenia since a decade, who has now managed to build up a party structure, is now managed also to convince the Parliament of Armenia to have an application towards the European Union in the making. And so in the coming months, in the beginning of 2025, we expect much good news from Armenia. And the hope is also, and that's my call here now, for the European Union to take Armenia into the European Union candidate status by December 2025, and President Trump as well to include Armenia in the future NATO members and start the process of integrating Armenia into NATO. This is what we have as a common goal. I want to thank you very much, President Tigran. I wish you all the best for this very important historic struggle for European Armenia. You are a real hero for me and for all our friends here who want to see Armenia in NATO and the European Union in this decade. Thanks a lot. All the best.
Thank you, Günther. Thank you for having me. Thank you for kind words and support. It's as European Democrats used to say, it's for your and our freedom.
Absolutely. And I repeat, you know, we had many countries in Southeastern Europe, which many people would have never thought they will join NATO or the European Union. And now Montenegro, North Macedonia are already NATO members. We have, of course, Slovenia and Croatia now even as Euro members, as Schengen members. So progress can be happening. And in the case of Armenia, I'm very optimistic. If it's your choice, we will certainly welcome you inside our transatlantic structures. And NATO and EU have an open door policy. You're a European country. You're a Christian nation. We are very proud to welcome you, and we want to welcome you as fast as possible. Please come to us, and we would be very happy to welcome you in NATO and the European Union.
Thank you very much.
Tigran, all the best. It was very nice to talk to you. I will send you the video once it's online.
Thank you very much, Günther. Have a nice week.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
And be in touch, please.
Absolutely.